matter where you go, no matter what you do, take that Maui style with you. Cause if you ain't Maui styling, you just living on an island. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 There is sunshine in your heart. It's been with you from the start. Lift your head, look to the heavens, then you will feel brand new again. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Reach out your hand and help each other. Your mother, your father, your sister and brother. There is love in this family. Pick yourself up and get on your feet. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Makena styling, up country styling, Campo styling, Kahana Valley styling, Hana styling, Wai'ehu styling, Bahia styling, Keanai styling, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Maui styling, Maui styling, don't stop me now. Maui styling.
What a beautiful smiling girl, hi.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Mama presents a really fun artist today, Marlana
Yes.
River.
Marlana River. Strong flow like the river. Let's go look.
Every day,
Wow.
except Christmas, New Year's, and Thanksgiving.
Hi, you guys.
Oh, it is a man I know. Aloha. How are you?
How you doing, Jason?
Good to see you.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Davo, Airielle. Airielle. Davo.
Emeralds rather than diamonds any day.
I like diamonds.
Kim for years. Kim.
She loves my piece. She lives with it every
I
day.
could tell you stories about Marvin and the guys in Honolulu.
Wow.
Marvin and the guys in Honolulu.
Wow.
Marlana, these more than speak for themselves. They're so awesome. Hey, but you're awesome. So that's the right combination.
So, but anyway,
Well, we're going to have
Kim
fun. Let's sit down and
was
talk.
so
Okay. She's the first people on Maui to buy my work. Right.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful big piece, and we have a medium-sized
not
piece
got it
and
on
a
yet.
smaller piece.
Do you have it on, Jay?
Yes, Airielle.
Yeah. Now you're on.
Go ahead.
So anyway, the pieces are absolutely gorgeous. I have one in the kitchen, and I put Dippambakia plant in it, and they're growing out of there. They have water on the roots, and they're just green.
So you've been a big fan for a long time.
Long time. Beautiful stuff.
Kim's an old friend and
Kim came to you when he first saw your work at a fair in Marin County and loved it so much, wanted it, didn't have any money, and she gave it to him and said, "You can own me.
Send me a check.
Send me a check," and he did.
Wow.
That's how lovely she is.
Well, you know, everybody local needs my work, that's all. So come on down.
We all need the joy that your work brings.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Liz.
it is
So
so
happy. Give my love. I'll see you tonight.
Will do.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are.
No, that's. I think that Bob Dylan is one of my worst. He's fantastic as a band. I wish he would use up your album here, and I would like to YouTube. I'm never, I mean, I'm sure everything sounds alike. Please, I'm getting so, I gotta tell you, Maryland has always been like music. You know what he told me? I told him, oh, I know what you mean from Maryland. And Maryland's so good. You know what? That's it. Yeah, you're right. No. And he made money off it. Good. And it's true. We'll just lump together this man shit, bro. Can I show you something?
When I look at Marlena's art, it's whimsical.
That is a great blue.
It looks like it should have little fairies dancing around it.
This is a great blue.
Don't you feel that?
Now what?
Like it should have little fairies dancing.
See what I mean?
Show me.
Greg Blue is a local designer.
Aloha. And welcome to M.A.M.A Presents. And today, M.A.M.A presents Marlana River. Isn't she beautiful?
Marlana River, that's a great name. Is that your real name?
Yes, it is, Jason.
Yeah, I know it is. So, I'm going to let you guys do some talking and walking around the art. What do you think?
So not only is she beautiful, but she's really talented. I love her work.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I've loved your work since I first saw it.
Oh, thank you.
The very first time I looked at it, I went, oh, that's so much fun.
Thank you. I really value that.
And I still feel that way. Your work is really fun.
Thank you. My life's fun. My life's wonderful.
Whimsical, it's light, it's happy.
Yeah.
Every time I see it, it makes me smile.
Oh, good. I want to hear that. That's great.
So you're going to tell us about your work today, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of an educational tour as well as a fun tour. And we're here at my gallery.
Where her work is showing.
We're at Village Gallery here in Lahaina. I am thrilled to be here in Maui. I'm thrilled to be a vehicle to let people know what this art's about and also to give some information to the public about how it's made and also the way an artist starts from the beginning and ends up in a gallery, a very prestigious, wonderful, very long, loved gallery on Maui. So I thank Lynn very much as well. And anybody who'd like to come and view the show, please come to Village Gallery on Dickenson Street, and I'm in both of her galleries here. And what you can do is you can come and touch it and see it and smell the orchids and share what my little art world do about. So we'll begin.
Well, we are beginning.
Yes.
Before we look at these closer, I just want to ask a few questions so that these people can know a little bit about what
Oh,
you're
thank
about,
you.
right?
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing this type of artwork, Marlana?
Well, I have been doing this artwork most of my life. I began doing it when I was 17, and I fell in love with ceramics, and I studied it, and then I opened a studio in Ohio, and then from there I moved to California and opened another studio in California, and I have been moving along in my life, and I have another studio as well in California in Willits, which is on my farm. I've been an organic farmer most of my life and an artist. And I have been working...
Did you study in school to do this?
I did learned to throw in school, and that is the basis of my construction. Everything here is thrown on the wheel, and then it's hand sculpted and assembled, and it's quite intricate. Like this piece in particular, which is my masterpiece called Simone. This is named after my darling daughter, who is also on island with me and is a very prolific artist. This piece is thrown in 3 sections, 25-pound sections, and then it is changed in a form that I actually adapt the clay and move it and mold it and join it and roll it and throw it, and then do all these pieces separate and then join it when the piece is leather hard. And it's a very intricate process. It has a base that it stands on. It's a hollow form. It's designed for function, and it's also designed for durability, as well as all these products are food safe. That's one of the things that I totally adhere to predominantly, so that if you wanted to serve food out of any of the work that I do, you can. The process is also completely non-toxic, which I would like to emphasize, especially to the younger children who are doing ceramics, that they can be in a field that's completely non-toxic.
How do these lips get on here?
These lips are actually molded by my hands. They're dried to some extent, and then they're slipped behind it and applied. And you'll notice that there's a seam here and a seam here, and this piece is completely separately rolled with a rolling pin, just as if you were to do a pie, and then I join it right here. My expertise, of course, is that you do not see the seams. And the nose is sculpted separate, and the skirt is separate, and the wings are separate. So it's very precision. And this piece in particular is designed for restaurants and large establishments and personal homes, that you can actually show an arrangement of very large Hawaiiana flowers with this. And
I've seen one of that filled with flowers. It
Yes.
is so beautiful.
You know, when I'm looking at this, I see very beautiful functional art, but I'm wondering about the art. To be a potter, you've been doing this for years. What kind of processes? You were talking about starting at one place and getting something to a gallery.
Right.
I know that.
hard work and diligence and perseverance and a constant creative process is in process. Like for most of these pieces, I may do 10 drawings and choose one sculpture. And what I do is I do constant drawing, I do constant observation, I do lots of research, I travel the world for inspiration as well. And what I do is I take a drawing and transform it to an actual piece of sculpture, and they say, this is creative, this is brilliant, this is interesting, my clients will like this, my collectors will like this, and then they bring you into a gallery like this, and they introduce you as an artist with a body of work, which is what Lynn has done with me. And the fun thing, Jason, is that something like this was done when I first came to Maui, which was about a year ago. And I fell in love with mermaids here on the island. And I did a whole series of pieces. This is in my personal collection. And you can see here that this is a small, voluptuous form that you can also plant in as well. Now, I decided to do these beautiful orchids because I've fallen in love with orchids while I've been here, and they just lend themselves to being orchid pots. So the other part about this is it's just fun. Like Airielle said, I have decided in this place in my life that if I'm not having fun making art, I'm not doing it. So that's what's going on with my career. And my signature has always been roses, and now that I'm on Hawaii, I use a lot of the Hawaiiana foliage, which really lends itself to being wonderful as far as the ceramics are concerned. And this piece here is my most recent piece. It was a sister piece to a commission that was sent to the mainland, and I am really enjoying not only the versatility of the taller form, which holds all kinds of plants, but also that I can integrate the Hawaiiana leaves and foliage with my roses as well. Now this is also a container that's hollow, that holds water, that you can use indoor or outdoor plants in. And this is about 22 pounds of clay, complete.
Now, is this one piece?
This is thrown in 2 pieces. Actually, it's joined in the center. And
You can't see where you join them at all.
No, that's the precision, and that is what makes the work so explicit in the construction, which as a sculptor I'm very concerned with.
That's amazing.
Yes, very much so. And this piece here, this is really, really a fun piece. This is my mermaid series as well, with a tail and wings, and again, Hawaiiana. And I like this format, and it has the undulating lips and undulating floral form, so that this piece is viewed in the round as well. Because when I have a collector start collecting my work, I want them to have fun and put it and place it and use it in many different capacities. For instance, you could actually serve food out of this if you chose. So, do you have any questions, Airielle?
Oh, I have lots of questions.
Oh,
Of
well,
course.
please.
We're gonna do an interview.
Okay.
So are all of these pieces, or are some of them one thing?
These
which
are
is
all,
one?
they start with a one form of clay. Usually I start with about 12 pounds of a solid hunk of clay, which Jason has already videoed in my studio, and I form it into a cylinder or round form or a long form like this. And then I take it when it's leather hard and I contort it and move it and form it and undulate the form, and I kind of use it as dancing.
How do you undulate the form?
Well, I take the clay and I stretch it, and I mold it, and I move it, and I form it any way I want. And that's what I did with this piece. And I just make the clay dance,
Of,
and I make
material, would you say,
it
is
fun,
it?
so that when you say you want to touch these pieces,
Oh,
and when children come up to them, I encourage them to touch them, because that's what art is about. None of this don't touch, because how do they learn if it's not through color and touch?
Oh, they feel so good.
They feel so good, and that's one of the things why I'm a sculptor. And then I add color because I love color.
I see you put lots of hearts on things.
Yes, that's my signature as well. And this piece has a parrot because I am trying to introduce what Hawaii means to me. And the tropicalness of this island really lends itself to fun and
Not
color.
only that, the people like you, Airielle.
Who love it.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you.
This
So-
stuff is so fun and beautiful.
So has your work been like this since you first started doing pottery, or
Yes.
was your work different?
Yes, it's been always fun, and I've had various collections in my lifetime. Most of my original sculpture and the major collection of my collectibles are in my California studio. I was fortunate enough to keep them in my archives, and so they're very varied, from extremely high-end sculpture to small kachinas to a large mass collection. And
But
this
always
is
fun.
always fun. And then this is the new collection that I've done on Maui so far. And actually, to tell you the truth, I came here to do large pieces like this and to do commission work with fountains, exterior fountains, interior fountains. And also I'd like to do these in people's homes, so that if they say, well, could you do this? And I'd say, yeah, I'd love to. I like the scale of this size particularly. I'm also designing some fish columns that I'd like to do as architectural installations.
Well, I loved his idea to make this a wine fountain.
A wine fountain.
Wouldn't that be fun
It'd be
at a party
wonderful.
with
Yeah.
little cups underneath?
And I wanted to show Jason that this piece, even as heavy as it is, it has all this detail and intricacy, because one of the things that I've always done in clay is make fabric on clay, in a sense that I've painted on the fabric that I'd really like to
So
have.
how do you get it to look so fabricy, so textury?
Well, one of the
What
reasons...
creates that texture?
Well, I was a fabric designer for a very long time, and I have a lot of interest in fabric and into the actual funness of fabric. So this was extensive painting, but it took me quite a while, but I wanted it to be really like this fun Carmen Miranda skirt, like we'd all want to put it on with the belly button, you know.
Yeah, the belly button doesn't have a belly button ring though. That's not pierced.
No, it's not
We'll
pierced.
have to clip something on there.
You might. But she has a heart right where the heart should
She
be.
sure does.
Yes. And this is actually a totem. This piece has got a fisheye, and the fabric, I think, is so important, again, about learning and getting back to the actual basics of what art is about. And for me, it's teaching. I really am in love with the concept that everybody can make art, everybody can learn, and everybody can express themselves, and it's a personal matter. So when somebody sees this, they go, oh, can I do this? I go, you know what? You can do this.
I love your stuff. When I see it in the homes, it brightens me right up. I know these people know how to have fun.
She looks like she's gonna fly.
Yeah. Well, this is, like, again, I said, this is a totem to my daughter, who's a great inspiration in my life. She has actually packed my bags and sent me to Maui. She said, Mom, it's
Get
time
lost,
for you to
Mom.
go to paradise and make art. So here I am, and I am very grateful to share this with the Maui audience and with my friends Airielle and Jason.
How long does it take for these pieces to be created? What would be a time that you take to create something like that?
Well, the actual throwing form, well, you have to understand it's been my life's work now for quite a while.
I understand.
And I'm an expert. But on the other hand, the throwing process probably would take about 20 minutes to throw the form, then to let it dry a bit, and then maneuver the actual stretching of it and the flow of it, and then adding this all separately, making these coils, moving these sides, making this leaf. This is much more intricate here, this piece here, because of all the wings, and then I inscribe into it, I cut away color.
Gorgeous. Look at her hair.
Yeah. And for me, it's very important that these pieces are flying. That's why I'm a sculptor. I love motion in clay. I love color, that's why I paint as well. So then you have the whole thing painted, then you fire it in your furnace. That's a 8-hour process. You cool it, you take it out, then you glaze it one more time with a clear glaze, which is this right here. This is the body of the paint. This comes out clear, this is the body of the clay. And all my clay is shipped over from the mainland, and it comes white. That's how I buy it. And then it goes back into the furnace again. In this particular situation, I built a furnace here on the island to accommodate this sculpture in particular. Then it's fired again for 8 hours, taken out, and it's done.
Wow.
It's sort of like a really fancy cake.
It's a very fancy cake.
And I know you make great bread, by the way. We don't want to let too many people know. They won't even, they'll be just calling up for your challah.
Well, she's a good cook, period.
That's right. Well,
she's creative in all of her nature.
Here in Maui, we are so blessed, and when artists on Maui get together, they find that they have talent in so many areas. Like, I know you're a great swimmer. And
yes.
you've really been a great advocate for health, both of you guys. But I know you, Marlana, have really been in training and really making great things happen. It's nice when we can take all of the aspects of our life and integrate them together. And here on Maui with the great weather and sort of a really great attitude all the time, it's just wonderful. I am so glad that you came to our show, and more than that you've come to our island to really add to the aloha that this place holds and wants to share with the world, I tell you. Now, I'm sure we're going to make another stop down at Marlana's studio area when we're going to see the next stages of the painting of the pieces that she created that we videoed earlier, okay?
Okay.
Any other things about your work that you feel is really essential for people to understand and appreciate that, it's sometimes the art speaks for itself, and other times an artist has a message that they really want to convey. Anything that you want to say?
Well, I think it's important as an artist in this day and age where things can be complex or things can be simple, that you bless your life. And my life is very blessed, and exceedingly so. And one of the things that's most important to me in life is color. And I go through my life with color in mind because of the richness of what we have as people on this planet right now. And it feeds me, and it feeds my soul, and it feeds everyone that I love and everyone that loves me. And you know what? Why not make fun art? That's my feeling, make it as much fun and as many smiles. And I noticed this new philosophy of mine in that, you talk to strangers, you talk to them about good stories, you talk to them about the beautiful peace and love on the Aloha Island, and also you make them smile, and then they pass that on, and it's kind of like the monkey theory. So thanks again, you guys, and I hope you come visit me again.
Okay. Wait. What's the monkey theory?
Well, the monkey theory is basically, we all know that if you give praises and people hear that, then maybe they'll start thinking about all the good fortune they have, and they'll be passing that good fortune on, and then someone will listen and go, oh, well, listen about my good fortune, and then we'll have all that going on in the world.
You mean like the 100th monkey syndrome?
Yes, exactly.
Like the pay it forward syndrome.
Yeah, we like that pay it forward movie.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
It is our pleasure to present people that hold love and aloha in their heart and know how to share, because you may realize that the core of M.A.M.A. is to find that artists and musicians and people with different kind of crafts care and want to contribute back to the earth And here in Maui, we get to sort of live it, and what a blessing we have. You're a blessing, and I really appreciate you coming and joining us.
Thank you.
She is a blessing. I want you to come over here for just a minute.
Okay.
I just have this vision.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm going to come over here. Now we're going to say goodbye like this. Aloha. We're holding on to the mama.
Oh, now is this a colorful group of Maui artistes?
A couple of
I should
coconuts.
say.
Well, you guys are...
There is Le Grand Master of Film, Jason Schwartz,
God.
and two of the loveliest nymphs on Maui.
Oh, no.
Oh.
How kind you are, sir.
You guys are fun. You know,
We're
we are
colorful today.
very colorful.
Look how
This
well we look.
gallery and this whole atmosphere is just so colorful. You know, sometimes art galleries feel stuffy and feel distant. And I guess the pieces that, you know, stand off in the distance. And then there are things that are livable and touchable and breathable and huggable and kissable.
And I want you to know we're at Village Gallery on Dickenson Street.
Well, they
And-
know that.
Yes.
See,
And it-
see that spot where it says Village
Gallery. Yes.
Thank you very, very much for having us here at Village Gallery. And thank you very much for having us, all you out there in television land. M.A.M.A presents Airielle and Marlana River. We'll be back again. We hope you'll join us. Aloha.
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 It's like praying.
Jason.
Is that a prayer position, or are you doing something with that dough? That's not dough. I guess it's going to turn into dough. Right now, it's clay.
I was just thinking about how I was going to introduce this as a very, of course, sensuous. But I wanted to note that I wanted to make this as educational as possible to the public.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that everybody knows that this instrument here is called a potter's wheel. This has been with me since I'm 18 years old, my whole life, and almost, and was originated in Cleveland, Ohio, when I became a potter when I was 19 years old.
Really?
What I'm doing right now is centering the clay, and I just got finished throwing the base to this.
What does throwing mean?
Means that you're forming the clay into a pot, depending on what you choose for it to be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an educational demonstration for you.
Okay.
Right now I'm starting to throw the majority of the structure, and I will note that I lift weights every day to work in this field.
I bet you have to. You got to really form things. Look at that.
I may be throwing as much as 400 pounds a day.
Wow.
And this has been my trade since, like I said, I was a young woman starting out, making my own livelihood. I've always had my own business.
Have you always worked with the same kind of medium?
Actually, I'm a multimedia artist as well as a painter, but my trade, my real trade is I am a trained ceramicist. Been throwing pots now more than half my life.
Wow.
And I love it. I will say it's a dying art. Most people aren't learning this form of craftsmanship any longer. You have to look long and hard to find someone who is as skilled and willing to teach this trade. And anyone is able to call me and come by and see a demonstration if they're interested in, because I think that it's a lost art and that it should be something that everyone has the availability to learn and see done. Now, I traveled to Nepal where I saw the same skill being executed in a village where I actually got the opportunity to throw in a potter's wheel that was made out of wood, and I turned it with a stick. And I will add that I was the only woman that ever threw pots in that village. It's a village called Bhaktapur. There are hundreds and hundreds of potters there. That's all this village did. It's on the outskirts of Kathmandu. And it was quite a phenomenon. The town will never forget it. I sat down and threw pots with the men, and they were very amazed.
Oh, yeah?
At the skill level.
Why don't the women there do pots?
It's a very class system there, and they have their jobs, and there are no women potters, as I know right now in that village. But it was a very interesting experience because it made me really appreciate my electrical machine.
Yeah, you mean the turning now is happening through a motor. There they do it by hand?
Right, they do it by hand and foot.
Wow.
As most of the potters in the world operate. It's still a very large occupation all over the world. And in America, it's being replaced by the glass industry for one, and two, slump molding, where it's a machine that will do exactly what I'm doing in some form. All my original work is signed Marlana River. It always has been for the last...
It's with the full name?
Yes, yes. And I had a very large business in on the mainland that I ran for 10 years under Marlana River Designs, and one day I picked up and decided to come to Maui since the art industry was so excellent here.
Now, we're so happy to have you here.
And I'm so happy to be here, Jason.
Yeah, you know, I've only known you now a year and a half. I say only. It seems like a lifetime, because what I really like about Maui artists, and you're a great example, is there's so much heart. When you dream to make a difference, I see your shirt, you give. You know, this is such a terrific thing. We can support the arts here and help so many people and give a positive example of artists with some heart. It's really terrific.
Right, and I may add that I hope that the other artists that see this demonstration also volunteer their time, and so the children of this island and the people that never have experienced art in their backyards get to really see and learn as the rest of the world turns and things happen. It's very important to keep the focus that there is magic being made and art is being made, and there's many artists on this island extremely talented. And the more we share, the more our youth will learn, the more the elderly will see what's going on in our community. And teaching is a wonderful form of communication, and hands-on.
You know, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, well, it started as just a little block, a little pie, and you've brought it up and you've brought it up and you've brought it up. When you're doing that, you're actually shaping. Do you have to finish it each time you got it wet? You have to complete a piece, don't you?
Well, this piece will be completed in front of you. The only thing that won't be done is I won't be painting it for you on this session. Everything I make, all my work is food safe in that you could actually drink and eat out of every piece of ceramics I make.
Point.
And I've always been in a non-toxic field, and that my furnace has always been a furnace where I keep it lead-free. You can use every day my ceramics. You can heat it, you can cook in it. My medium, being that I'm a painter, is bright colors. I do only highly painted ceramics and all functional. The art form is becoming rarer and rarer.
Well, it's funny that we say the lost art. It's a lost art in that we're losing the culture because we're not doing it here. Other countries are still doing it, but we don't.
Oh, yes.
How crazy to lose it that way.
Well, the truth of the matter is that it's a labor of love, and yet it's a very nurturing form of artistic endeavor. I mean, most people in their lifetime don't get the opportunity to see a handmade, utilitarian, functional object anymore. And that's why I'm so glad to be able to be doing this demonstration for you.
It's great.
I'm necking it in. I'm actually moving the clay exactly the way I want to and forming it, so I'm in total control of what's going on with the clay.
You know, as I'm watching this, I'm having all kinds of fantasies of a ghost story. Was that what it was called?
Yeah, that was
so fun. I mean, when you have this on the wheel, as much as it looks so easy, I know that with a slip of a hand, this can turn into a lump of clay yet again, huh?
Right. It's actually very precision. It's all in your fingertips and in your skill level. I mean, as you know, MCC teaches this. They have a wonderful program, as well as the Hui. I know a lot of people tell me that they go there. Yeah, and people have wonderful things to say about it. And I'm so glad that it's still happening, those two facilities. And I think that the most important thing is that we as ceramicists and artists go into the schools or show this on the TV for the youth.
Well, I think it's really good. I look forward to sitting and seeing your pieces in completion. I bet our audience does too. Well, we're going to watch a little bit more here.
Now what's happening here is I'm trimming the bottom of the pot, which is a very important procedure here. So what you're doing is you're actually trimming the pot on the wheel very, very carefully and precision-like, so I don't have to trim this again. You'll notice when you go and see ceramics, it's all precisionally cut on the bottom. So I took off a big slab of that, and I'm finishing the pot up for you right now.
Let's see.
Now, when you see my show up in Lahaina, you'll see a pot that's approximately 4.5 feet, weighs about 350 pounds.
Wow.
It was made exactly like this in the sense that it was thrown on this wheel, thrown in sections, and at some point I'm going to hopefully be able to do this assembled piece that I did over here and show you how you actually assemble sculpture. Now I'll explain when you see that piece up in Lahaina how I actually made it, but you'll see that it actually started on this. So this pot is almost done.
Now we're going to then, I guess not today. How long does it take to dry before you put it in the kiln?
Well, Ed, this is one of the reasons I'm in Maui. You can actually take this pot, put it in the sun. That's why my studio is part shade, part sun.
Right.
It will be dry by this evening. I
Ah.
could paint it tonight. And actually, if it was dry enough, it could be fired tomorrow.
Wow.
And done in 2 days. Only in Maui, though, because of the intensity of the sun and the drying factor.
Fantastic.
So this pot is done, Jason, except for I will have to show you a very special part here where you actually cut it off the ceramic wheel.
Okay. Tell me when you're getting ready. Here it comes.
Here it comes. And it's thrown on a bat. The bat is now popped off the wheel head, clearly.
That means like a
Means
sleeve?
it's a wooden bat that I made out of wood and cut it on a saw.
I see.
I have lots of different sizes. I'm going to take this pot right now and put it in the sun to dry. And it's done. Now this piece here, I was going to show you actually how I join. I'm going to throw a section about this high and then put it on top and show you how you assemble it.
Okay. You want to do that now, or should we save it for the next show? What do you think? There it is, drying in the sun, and this other piece. So what are we going to do now? We're going to do some kind of part that goes on it, a butterfly, you say?
Right, but in order to do that, I have to make sure, since I'm going to make this piece bigger,
You want
I
to
need...
keep it wet, huh?
Right.
Let's see. Because it could dry, and that's it. Once it's dry, it's
Oh yeah,
dry.
it's history. They have a built-in job security in Nepal. I wanted to mention that when they throw their pots in this village, in Bhaktapur, they throw all the yogurt bowls for the whole village. And after you eat your yogurt in the morning, you break your bowl.
All right.
So
fine.
they have job security built right into the culture.
That's great.
So the bowls are about this big, and they're all made out of clay, just like this.
Right.
And it's dried and not fired. Very hard, very long, kind of almost to a medium temperature of brittleness. And they serve the yogurt, and then when they're done, they throw it on the ground, and it's biodegrades.
That's fun. A built-in job market.
A built-in job market.
Wow, we snuck inside to see what's going on inside. Marlana River, the painter. We get to see it on her sculpture, on the pots and stuff. Wow, look at these beautiful colors, and I know that the finished work, the colors come out in such a grand way. Look at this. That's a picture, isn't it? Well, we're
Yeah,
gonna have fun at looking at your stuff in Lahaina. Wow.
Now this is all greenware, you understand. Once I made it like you saw in the potter's wheel, it's in a dried form now. This is mud and water.
Okay.
And at this point, you take it and you paint it in full spectrum colors. These are the colors right here.
Right.
They are pre-made colors that I mix, and but they do come right out of the bottle, this color. Now they do not go on the pot the same color they come out. But this is a new collection of ceramics. I sell this right out of my house if you're interested. These are coffee mugs, which are my bread and butter.
Your bread and butter.
My bread and butter
dishes?
I do make also bread and butter dishes. But these are a new coffee mug that I've designed, and they're all tropical, Hawaiiana, with Hawaiian flowers. And this is also greenware. Now this goes into the furnace, gets fired, and then it goes back to my table. I glaze it and fire it again. It's a two-process firing.
Look at that.
So what I'm going to be doing to show the audience, this mermaid here is going to be a larger form of this that I'm going to be applying to this piece now that I'm going to be making that's taller. I'll be building that right in front of you to show you what it looks like.
What's the expression? Do attempt this at home. Sometimes they tell you don't do demonstrations.
Martha Stewart would love us.
That's right. Martha Stewart, she's quite a girl. Oh, you're the Martha Stewart of pottery. There you are.
Of course. Why not?
I bet you bake well, too. You got a pin there, right there.
Yes.
I happen to know that's true.
Oh, yes, that is my love. Bread baker, farmer.
See, all your tools are the same.
They are.
If your kiln or your furnace is only so large, how do you make pieces that are bigger than that?
Well, either you borrow another furnace, or you build a furnace that's big enough, or you buy one.
So your pieces that you did in a large furnace.
Yes, I actually built a furnace in my studio in California. I have another studio in California that's very beautiful. It's at my home, and I do a lot of work there as well because I live there part-time.
Right.
And I built a furnace. I assembled different furnaces together to get what I wanted.
Now, when you put this on there and you join the pieces...
You see I'm reinforcing it from the back.
I was going to say, it takes some reinforcement or they crack off, right?
Well, you want to do it right for the first time, so you want to make sure that it's built to last. Let's put it that way. And this clay it's very funny. I bought this clay over a year ago, and it's, as clay is supposed to, it's matured, and it's become a much better clay than when I first originally bought it. I mean, you know, the Chinese, they would bury their clay from generation to generation. That was the art form in the Ming Dynasty, that you would make your clay for the next generation. And, you know, of course, we're not doing that, but clay matures, and as it matures, it gets better. And in the sense that it throws better, it sculpts better. So this clay has definitely matured. When I got it, I hated it. It just did not work as well as I wanted it to. And now you can see it holds up beautifully. I put these wings on with no problem. All the joining is becoming very easy. And
easy for you to say, huh? It doesn't look easy to me. I'm telling you, I want a cake like this.
Oh, you want a cake, Jason? No problem. You know how I like to bake the
Or
cake.
else I want a real mermaid. You got a choice.
Well, I can't actually order that up, but you never know. With a little luck.
I want one just like that.
Just like this?
Oh, yeah.
But you real.
A real one. A real mermaid.
Right out of the Maui Ocean?
I think we have lots of mermaids and lots of angels right here in Maui. You're one of them. You know, your gift of what you give and your good spirit is such an aloha thing. You fit right in here. I'm really glad you're here with us in Maui.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a real trick of the trade here.
Okay.
Because I always teach when I do teach. I am going to make sure you guys learn the real secret of ceramics here. You have to score. Now, sometimes I circumvent it because I'm so quick and been at it so long, but I want for sure the children, if they are going to try this. This is called slip. You make it out of clay and water. And this is the magic that keeps pots together. And you'll see that it's very essential when you build. When I teach, that's what I...
In other words, you make
this mess,
surfaces that
right,
are not smooth, so that when they
well,
go
it's
together...
the cement. It's the cement. See, it holds it. This clay is really cooperating today.
Oh, good.
We will know that...
The wind is a little bit less cooperative.
Yes. Gale winds in Kihei.
I know Gail.
I could add crystals. I could add real lapis jewelry that I make. I could add anything I want to make it multimedia. Glass, metal, silver, gold.
Glass.
Yeah, you just glue it on, or you build it. You know,
You don't bake it in.
No, you don't bake it in. But if I wanted to adorn this with jewelry or something like that.
Right. Look at that wind. See, you gave it wings for the, so it can fly in the wind.
Now I made a clay armature here that will come off after it's dry.
I see.
I just added it right there so I don't have any problem with it going away. Now the next stage will be that I will throw this form that will come out and be very undulating, almost like a giant anemone, sea anemone. So it depends on whether you want to add that to this cut or not. It's up to you.
I think we should jump in and see it after it's kind of put together, because we don't want to spend more time on the show. This way, we want to get to the next stage, because I have a feeling people are going to want to have you back. Not only have you back, they'll probably want to come over and see you in your studio. This sure is fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you for having us here with you. It really is a pleasure.
You're welcome, Jason. Thank you.
You know, I just walked inside and I was looking at some of your watercolors, and I thought, boy, what brilliant colors. You really enjoy brilliant colors, and what fun to work in all these nice colors. What I also noticed is there was a couple of pictures of you with this beautiful young girl, but I happen to know that's your beautiful daughter, Simone.
Yes.
She's a talented artist and a beautiful lady herself.
Yes, she is definitely a wonderful artist, a great painter. Her work is in the house, as well as a master jeweler. She's apprenticed with me her whole life, as well as her father. And now this is the finishing stages on the piece that I'm doing for Gay Pride.
Right.
The art that I'm donating. And this will also be painted.
You're having too much fun. I can see that. And through the magic of television, wow. Now it's dry and fully formed. Oh, hi, Marlana. We were just noticing here. Now it looks like you've really come a long way since before, huh?
Yeah, this is the piece that I was doing for the auction.
I remember.
Yeah, and it's finished now. It's kind of a mermaid bird, and I'm doing some scribing on it, and it's going to be, I believe, a multimedia piece. I think I'm going to add some crystals and jewels to this piece, and it does, I'll turn it for you, and it's got a mermaid tail. It's got some fronds here, Hawaiiana fronds, and of course it's staged that it's not painted quite yet, but at some point later maybe you'll do some photographing while I'm painting it. And this was the piece that we did the other day while I was sculpting. And it's fun. It's a winged mermaid. And the other pieces here are also going to the to a flower farm up in Makawa. You take the clear glaze, which is this,
Right,
and I paint it on.
right.
Then I pour it in the center. I do pour that part. And then I let it dry in the sun. And then I put a real thin coat on the bottom. And then I do it again. So you can imagine how long it takes me to do all the nicks and crannies and
With the glaze, right.
It's such a pain in the ass.
You're going to be doing painting now of the piece.
Well, you could shoot this coming in.
Here she comes.
So Jason, now this is the piece that I made for the camera.
I remember.
Right.
We just brought it in.
Right. And I'm going to show you a little treat here because I've started to do something else with my work. I decided I wanted to do some incising.
What is incising?
It means that I'm carving into the clay once it's dried with a tool so that you can actually carve in the dry clay and carve in a design, which is something that I've started to do with my work. This is going to be a multimedia piece, like I told you, and I'll probably be making a necklace for her, and I'm thinking of making some very outrageous Elton John glasses. So it's going to be kind of macabre, very dolly-ish, very modern, very Eastern.
You just take each piece as an individual work of art. You really don't have sort of stock and trade piece.
No, not
They're
at all.
all individual.
So I'm kind of putting on the paint lightly.
And even though it doesn't look like blue, the colors sometimes are the same, but very much a lot not the same, huh? This is blue?
This is light blue,
I see.
and I really am an artist that does not do a lot of fastidiousness. Let's put it that way. In other words, I'm.
You paint outside the lines.
Yes, I do.
Is that what it is?
Yes, that's exactly.
You don't mind a little overlap and run
No.
together like life. It's
Yeah.
like good juices.
Exactly.
I got it.
Yeah. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm painting a wing.
Like a phone, wing, wing?
Not
Oh,
like
wow.
a ring, like a wing.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh well. So.
Where's the wing? Is it this?
It's an angel wing.
Yeah, angel wing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So this
Oh,
is
you
a
see,
light
you
pink.
guys see angel wings. I have to look because I'm not used to looking for angel wings.
Okay.
I should look, I guess, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Ooh.
beautiful. What color is that one?
Pink.
Pink.
Yeah. This is the, see, now you can go to this angel here on that pot and Airielle will paint, will point.
Same, huh?
Yeah. So I'm defining the sculpture with this line. See, this wing comes all the way up here on her shoulder.
Uh-huh.
So the paint demarcates what is really going on here. See?
For you in the audience, demarcates means marks. See that? We translate. It's interesting how different genres have different words, but you see, she's just having fun.
I'm
This looks
having
like
fun.
Too much fun.
This is,
Ah.
that's what life's about, folks. Have fun. And now I'm going to have my assistant, who I've just hired on the spot, to apply polka dots.
Oh boy.
Let's see it,
There
let's
you
see it.
go. Polka dots.
Doop, 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 boop, bum, bum,
Now, this is what you call a collaborative effort of ceramics.
bum.
We're having fun,
Oh, are we?
making patterns.
Are we having fun yet?
Yes, we are. We are having fun.
Oh, this is so much fun.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you, thank you.
Mwah, this is really fun.
No matter where you go, no matter what you do, take that Maui style with you. 'Cause if you ain't Maui styling,